that. All right, well, let's talk about it. You done hit on some. Let's talk about cooking. Okay?
All right.
So do you enjoy cooking?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you like to cook?
My favorite, my grandbabies always, I got my own recipe for my mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And they always, every time we got a meal, they said, we want Papa's mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mean, it ain't no secret recipe, different ways to make them. But they like them. I use the old-timey
Right.
masher. Don't use a mixer.
Right.
And I put buttermilk, and I put sour cream.
Right.
And salt and pepper and butter, and I got a big spoon. I stir them and I mash them, and that's the way they want. They love them, and they always They say it's like Thanksgiving. They done put the order in.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potato, Papa's mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, that's one that's a big hit with my family. That you know, that just that's the way I like them. That's the way I always fix them.
How you do your chicken?
I do it different ways. I bake it and I fry it, and you know, I like to roll it in flour. And,
Right.
And
You know, I
old
got
orange skillet. There's something about that.
you know, I haven't fried a lot of chicken. I bake a lot. Okay, but I found I put a little bit of mayonnaise on my chicken. I'll base it a little bit of mayonnaise, thin it out on it, and then I've used egg and all kinds of different things. But I put a little mayonnaise on there, and then I'll bread it. And man, it somehow it gives it. And then if I'm doing a big breast, I'll put a little bit of butter right on top of it before I put it in the oven. And then I sneak and have to sneak and do this because they don't know. When I get it up there and gets close, then I'll bring it out and take me a little honey.
Yeah,
and
now I use the honey. I use the honey too when I bake it. Sometimes a lemon.
Yeah.
And I tell you, rich crackers is good.
Exactly.
To crumble it up with buttermilk.
I put a little Ritz cracker. I've done it with some Parmesan.
Yeah,
and
different ways, aren't they?
Well, now I know people that are watching are going to know why I'm asking this. Okay, but why do you think you like cooking?
I like to serve.
Okay.
I like to serve. I like to serve my family. I love my family, and I want them to know I love and appreciate them. I guess I'm trying to make up some lost time.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Jerry. Not a thing.
Trying to make up some lost time. Like I said, you know, I confess my priorities, but I like to serve my family, and you know, if we go around, you know, the Bible says in Nehemiah 8:10, the joy of the Lord is our strength.
Right.
And, you know, Christians supposed to have joy.
Yes, sir.
And I ministered on that out there today. Paul and Silas, they had joy and sung praises even after they'd been beat half to death. And I said, today, we don't have the joy the early church had.
Well, what I think, and I know people know, and I've said this before, I've talked to a lot of pastors and evangelists and people that like to cook, okay? And I've got some people that do different things, that have a different way of making a living or do things different, that don't care a thing about cooking, okay? And I've tried to sort out why, and this is what I think, and you can just tell me what. All right, in ministry, the job never gets done. You can't get up tomorrow and say, hold on, everybody's saved, I can take this week off. A pastor can't get up in the church and say, well, all right, this Sunday, looks like everything's taken care of. Everybody's all right. They're born again. Kids okay. Let's just shut her down. We've done a good job here. But in cooking, this is why I cook. Because I always try to figure why I do what I do, okay? What I do in television never gets done. TV's on 24 hours a day. It goes on forever, okay? And the mobile app's in 60 countries. I mean, everything, it never stops.
You got to have a release.
So I never feel like I've completed anything, okay? When I do things in this little shed, and I build all kinds of stuff, and I do stuff, I feel like if I get a group of two before us together and I go to do a little project, I can see the start, the middle, and the end. When I get ready to cook supper tonight, I'll get that chicken out. Janice will pound it because she likes to pound it. She'll hit it. I think she's taking out her frustration. She'll pound that chicken, get it thinned out just right. I'll get the potatoes. I'm going to do fried potatoes and chicken tonight. But I'll get them out there and I'll put them in. And I see all this. And then I see the end of it. I finish something. But what happens in ministry, it's never finished. And I think what does food gives us something to do that we can finish. And you see those kids eating. and you see your people smiling, you see your wife grinning, you see everybody eating, and it's all done and gone. And that's just my thoughts. That makes sense.
Yeah, you know how it's going to end, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we're going to sit at his table,
Right.
and he's going to serve us.
It'll be done.
And the work's done. It's done then.
But see, it's never done here.
Yeah.
What you're doing now is never done.
But can you imagine at that table sitting with your dad again,
Right.
your loved ones, and all the joy and laughter? Then you'll get to sit down and enjoy what you've done. You've done got your accolades.
All right. So now we're heading into an area. I'm going to ask you, I don't have this question really wrote down, but I'm thinking about it.